Welcome back, everyone. In this video, we are trying to build in the decrement. So for decrement, let's go into our cart context. As we know, if this is where we did our add item, we're probably going to do a similar remove item here as well. So what I want to do is I want to make another method called remove item from cart. And this is going to be a function that we need to figure out. So remove item from cart is probably going to be very similar to how we set up our add item to cart. So here, let's just duplicate our method, call it remove item to cart. And what we're going to receive is the product to remove. We know that we're most likely going to want to get this product because with this product, will we actually delete the cart item? So here, instead of even calling a product to remove, we know that most likely it's going to be a cart item in the first place. So we can even be more explicit. Instead of calling a product to remove, we could call it cart item to remove. So now what we need to do is we know we are updating our cart items, but instead of calling this add cart item method, we probably want to create another helper. So let's think about what we want this to do. So I'm going to call it remove cart item, like so. We know that we want to get the original cart items array because we're going to use this array to create a new array where we've either increased the quantity of one of these cart items or we've removed an item entirely if the previous quantity was at 1. The next thing that we know we need is the cart item to remove. And now what we need beyond this is let's think about the functionality. Inside of our cart items, we know that we're removing a cart item that already exists. So we need to find the cart item to remove. We need to find the one that already exists inside of our array. And then what we need to do is we need to check if quantity is equal to 1. If it is, remove that item from the cart. That much is the logic that we've described. If it isn't, then what we do is return back cart items with matching cart item with reduced quantity. That much also makes sense. So let's figure out what we need to do here. Well, first we need to find the existing cart item. So what we can do is we can actually take this method over that does exactly this, except instead of using the product to add, we're going to use our new cart item to remove. They're both going to be the same shape and have the same ID. Next, what we need to do is we need to now check if the quantity of this item is equal to 1. Now, if it is equal to 1, then what we need to do is we need to remove this from a new set of cart items. So to do that, let's use the filter method. As we know, filter gives us back a new array where the array is going to have removed whatever matches. So here I'm going to say that if existing cart item dot quantity is equal to 1, then just return back cart items dot filter. And what we're going to do is get a cart item and just say if the cart item dot ID does not equal cart item to remove.id. So if this seems a little bit unintuitive, the reason why is because we're saying, hey, I want you to filter out anything here that equals false. So what this means is that if this statement evaluates true, then keep the value. So we're saying if the cart item ID does not equal the one we're trying to remove, keep the value. That makes perfect sense. We only want to remove the value where the cart item ID is equal to the one we try to remove. So that's how filter kind of works in reverse here, or at least it seems a little unintuitive the way that we've written it. But now, once we have removed out when quantity is 1, then all that's left to do is pretty much just duplicate what we had here. And all we can do is really just copy this over. And all we need to do differently is instead of incrementing quantity, we decrement the quantity. And of course, we use cart item to remove instead of product to add. So if you look at it, we're just mapping through all of our cart items. And we're saying, hey, if your ID matches the one we're trying to remove, give us a new object with the same cart item properties, except the quantity has been reduced by 1. Some of you might be wondering, why is it that we're always creating a new object? Remember that with React, the only way that a React component, which in our case is going to be either this new checkout item that we haven't made, or even the cart items that we have made, what do they receive? They receive an individual cart item as the actual prop value that they have. Let's look at it. Let's look at this component. We receive a cart item as the object, and off this object do we render the UI. If we get back the same object with the value mutated, React doesn't register that this cart item is different, so it's not going to re-render the component. Whereas because we are generating a new object, when React receives that object, React is going to say, oh, this prop is different. Then I can re-render the UI and in turn reflect the new reduced quantity or the new increased quantity. This all has to do with React's rendering. So now all we need to do is, again, just replace our method here inside of remove item to cart, and then pass this through as an argument. We can now include this inside of our appropriate checkout component. And let's just also abstract this off. And then we can simply add an on click here where we call our remove item with the cart item. Let's save this. Let's come back here. And because we've re-rendered, we need to re-add items to our cart. Let's come back. Let's go to the checkout. Let's make sure it works. We decrement. Look, it's working. We also see it reflected inside of our cart because everything is tied together. And now if I decrement one more time, I remove the item entirely. I continue decrementing. I've removed all the items. There we go. We've added in our functionality. So now what I want to do is I want to style out this component so that it looks closer to our actual final checkout page. So how do we do this? Well, let's figure this out in the next video.